Basketball fans, welcome into Canada's home for Talking Hoops. This is The Hangout. I'm McNeil Augustine, and that was the Raptor. Okay, all right. Well, hey, guess what? The regular season's over, and we're about to start the playoffs, so we have to have a very special cast of characters join us. Where have you been, Dan Gladman?
I have been here, there, everywhere. I can't even remember where I was last Thursday. I wanted to say New York, but there was New Orleans, there was Houston, Boston. I don't know. We've been all over the place.
Okay, now we have to introduce a newcomer, a rookie, potentially the Rookie of the Year.
Potentially.
CC co-host Marci Ian, thank you so much for joining us. And you were a 14-year Raptors season seat holder.
Absolutely, with my dad. We're here, 112 every night, representing. Wow. That's what we do.
Nice.
So it's a dad and daughter date.
Okay, I love it. I love it. And, of course, the editor of Hoops Addict, Ryan McNeil, and also a teacher and a good friend of the family. Shouts out to you.
Man. I appreciate it.
We're glad to have you because we got to talk about some important stuff. The Toronto Raptors locked down the 2 seed. The Indiana Pacers locked down the 7 seed. So Saturday, 12:30, right after I finish wrapping up in Jurassic Park, we'll be watching these two teams battle. So if this series does come down to one game or one moment, will the difference be, Dan Gladman, since you've been absent for the last little bit, will the difference be Paul George, the superstar, that true superstar? Because, you know, the Raptors have 2 guys who are all-stars, but none as good as this Paul George guy.
Oh, I don't agree with that in any way, shape, or form. I think the Raptors have 2 superstars. DeMar finished 8th in the league in scoring. That was ahead of Paul George. The Pacers count on Paul George for way more than what is asked for from each of the individual Raptors stars.
So DeMar and Kyler are on par with Paul George?
I think the 2 of them are greater than the one player in Paul George. I think the Raptors are a superior team, have more talent and more experience, and I don't think it'll come down to Paul
Before I get to you, Marci, here's my perspective on this. Paul George, transcendental player, can get a shot off at any point. He's one of those of the ilks of the Kawhis, the Kevin Durant's, the LeBron Jameses.
No,
I believe having a 6'8", 6'9" guy? Come on, Ryan, are you disagreeing? Am I wrong here?
Give me a break.
Can he not rise up and get a shot at any points?
I think Toronto's going to have a hard time defending Paul George because of his height. And Norman Powell's playing great basketball for Toronto right now, but he's 6'3", 6'4". So there's a height disadvantage. There's an experience disadvantage.
Yeah.
I think maybe James Johnson could defend him, but I think that in the clutch, Indy has a really great go-to option that Toronto's going to have a hard time defending.
Marci, are you worried about Paul George as much as I am, or am I wrong?
I'm worried, but it's going to come down to defense. And I'll tell you, DeMar's on limited minutes, but he's going to play a role here. But Toronto has to make sure that they give, George some different looks on defense.
Switch it up.
They got to switch it up, and
that's
going to mean a team defensive kind of approach because he is good and he's darn good, but he's one man.
Okay.
He's one man.
Okay, Coach Ian, he's one man.
I'm just saying.
Okay, all right.
One guy.
Dan, you're there every day at all the games. Do you think DeMar is ready to slow down this Paul George guy?
Maybe not for 38 minutes in a game, but certainly for 10 or 12 or 15. But, Paul George is a wonderful player. He's an all-star. But I think you guys are giving him way too much
I think you're giving him
Don't say you guys.
Little credit. This guy knows his MVP talk.
No, in the first 20 games of the season.
Coming off of a broken leg.
Yeah, he was wonderful, but that doesn't mean he goes out there and wins a playoff series by himself. His efficiency is very low. He shoots under 43%. His three-point shooting is a low percentage compared to the leaders in the league. Yeah, he's a tough guard, but as a complete team, Indiana does not have the parts that the Raptors have right now.
All right, we'll be talking about this later on in the playoffs, so we'll revisit this one.
We'll agree to disagree.
Me and him, we won't even agree to disagree. We'll disagree.
We never agree. I'm always right. He's always wrong.
Okay, the one time. All right, so let's move to Norman Powell. This young man had a great end to the season, shooting the ball well. He had a career high the other night. Are you ready to give extended minutes, Ryan McNeil, to Norman Powell in the playoffs, especially against the Pacers?
It's tough. He deserves them.
Yep.
I think he's been a great starter for them last 20 games, but his inexperience.
Yes.
I think that's tough, but then who do you go to? Because you can't play, I don't think, DeMar Carroll big minutes right now.
James Johnson's been out of the picture for the last little bit.
So where's his conditioning at? Like, can he play big minutes? So I think Norman Powell is your best option, but as a rookie, that's a big task for a rookie to step up in the playoffs.
There is tremendous upside with Norman Powell. I mean, the kid is a player. But listen, the playoffs are a different deal. You've got the regular season, then you have the playoffs, and that's a different beast altogether. And yes, he's going to get some minutes, but big-time minutes, I agree with Ryan. I mean, he's inexperienced. You got to give him some. and I'm sure he'll rise to the occasion,
Yes.
but I just don't know about tons of minutes.
Okay, Dan, you can close this one out.
Okay, well, I'm going to disagree.
Of course
As
you are,
always,
Dan.
as always.
That's what I do. I'm
Dan, I now know
cantankerous
you
like that.
well.
Now, look, Norman Powell is a rookie, but it's at the end of the season. He's had some seasoning, okay? He's playing great. You put him in there. Yeah, you have him on a bit of a short leash. But there are examples in the past of rookies who have played very well in the playoffs. The name coming to mind right now for me is Harrison Barnes,
Yes.
who 2 or 3 years ago was great for the Warriors as a rookie in the first round. Are you expecting 20 points a night from Norman Powell? Absolutely not. He might miss some shots, might be nervous, but his defense is going to be there. His effort's going to be there. If you don't like what you're getting, if he's getting beat, you put him on the bench, you bring in Terrence Ross. No problem.
All right. Hey, no problem. Okay, that's Dan
No
Gladman's
problemo.
take on it. All right. Quickly, Dan, who wins how many games?
Raps in 5.
Marci?
Raps in 6.
Okay, Mr. McNeil, it's your turn.
Man, I'm going Raptors in 7.
Okay. Well,
There you go.
seeing as how it's a Trinidadian connection, I'm rolling with Marci. Raptors in 6.
At least
Shouts
we all
out
have
to
the
the
Raptors.
Trinidad.
We got
All
that.
right.
That's good.
Listen, it's time to go to break. When we return, it was Kobe's last night, man. It was Kobe. Say it ain't so. Come back. Don't
Back.
go.
Come back.
Don't go. Hang out.
One more year.